Hello everybody and welcome to my channel and my new project. This is the New Hope Zoo and it is a challenge zoo I just started now with the new DLC. So happy new DLC week! We got the conservation pack, and if you haven't recognized it already, this map is actually the one from the time scenario. So I really fell in love with the map and the nature there, which is why I decided to use that map. The only thing is that you can decide to either just use the terrain, which I tried, but then you don't have the plans and your entrance is so far away, like at the very border of the map. So that's why I decided to instead go with the full thing, but then I had to go and delete a lot of buildings. The only thing I really decided to not to delete, and also don't plan on replacing, is the habitat, the central big habitat that was built, because I find it a very beautiful habitat and I decided to keep it. But I'm starting here with a little staff area, and it's the first time I actually name stuff during building. Like, this is called like entrance staff area or something, which is still not very creative, but I even have different building groups, like the buildings themselves, then the plaster walls and the wood walls. In case I want to replace something, I can just take what I want to replace and don't have to select single pieces. So I find that super cool and useful. At the moment it's more work, but then later if I want to edit, it will be so helpful. Like, for example, if I want to edit, oh, this fly is so annoying. If I want to edit just the plaster color, I can just do that by selecting that group and completely changing the color. So that's super cool. I also planned ahead to put some space for the quarantine, and as well for the vet's surgery center for later when I have more money, even though I don't think money is a problem right now. We're playing in challenge mode in hard, so everything has to be researched, which is why this first building looks so basic. Like, I don't have a lot of the pieces, but I kind of realized I never really used that gate there, and I kind of like it. So that's nice. And yeah, let's talk about the new DLC. I think even more hyped than about the DLC and the new pieces, I was about the update. First of all, small habitat gates. That's so damn brilliant. I've been waiting forever for that. That always looks so stupid, and I'm so happy that we finally got them. And then secondly, also the new education items. That's also super darn cool. I mean, and then there's all the other stuff that you probably have heard in 1,000 YouTube videos, so I don't need to repeat it, but those were just my favorites. And then from the new conservation pack, I really like the whole backstage props. It will make like some detailed building so much easier, and sometimes I really like doing indoor stuff, and for that it's kind of cool, like interior building. It's really nice to have these small things, but even on the outside to make something look more realistical. So I think once the stuff is researched, I will also be starting to use it. Yeah, and oh god, the nature in this park is just so beautiful. The first animal is not really a show animal, it's just a peafowl, nothing crazy, and that's also what the habitat is gonna be, something simple. But this might also be a style, like not for the whole zoo, but for some animals, because this whole project, let me quickly talk about the plan. It's supposed to be, according to the new DLC, also like a conservation park, a ecological park that takes care of the animals, of the well-being of the animals, and then also that looks into its environmental footprint. So we will be, of course, with renewable energy. I might also build the own farm, stuff like that. Not sure how the carnivores would be fed, but you get the idea. It's as much as it can self-maintaining, and I really just like doing that here and building on that, also with the style. Like, I want a lot of natural materials like wood and stone. Yeah, wood and stone a lot. That's what I really hope for. And then yeah, that's kind of the idea for the zoo. I don't want to make it too big. Like the last challenge zoo had, in my opinion, like a very small size. Maybe I can make this one a bit bigger, because I don't like only restrict myself to desert animals or something. But of course, for example, here I will not put in a polar bear or something. It will still be like a rather like smaller, specific zoo, and I want some area for the guests to just walk around and learn. And yeah, that's kind of it, what I have to say. I'm also gonna build some exhibits. But first of all, the peafowl is mad because it has too little space, so that's something I have to remedy here. And then my Peafowls even escape in a second. You would see that because my fence is too low. And that's also the point where I remember that I decided in the next zoos that I don't want all of my barriers to be like, let me start again. I want my habitats to be in a way that the guests can't see in it from every corner. Like usually I build with a lot of viewing pieces, just like that central habitat is, so I will still have to check how I remedy that one, or if I keep that one like it is. But I want more like specific areas for the guests to go and see, also because I want to keep education high, and then I don't have to put the education boards everywhere, even though it's like a challenge zoo. And then I don't want to clog the ways. So here, for example, on that side, I don't want the guests to stand there to look inside the Peafowl habitat, but at the front where we have the little plaza, it is just fine. What I also really love about the new DLC, now I'm remembering, is these new plants, like these grasses with the flowers in. It's just so perfect. It's been something we've been missing to just make nice, easy, like in-between areas. Kind of, they also have these nice, like it's not a square, but at the end it kind of fizzles out. So it's also really, really nice to just fill areas with it. And I'm really, really happy about that. Like these ones, it's just so, so pretty and nice. And it makes everything look a bit more natural. And yeah, that's just something. I'm so sorry for the rain. Like I couldn't play in pause because I need to do the research. I want the pieces, so I have to build in play mode. But I think like for the next video it will still be the same, but after that I will really try to do the pause mode, just so we don't get rain at night and walking people and whatever, and I don't need to interfere for doing some managing aspects. Yeah, I think I mentioned that I deleted most of the buildings. You will notice that the entrance and that little gate are still the same. I think the red gate I later want to replace by something I built myself, like this one. But the entrance area, this will be something for way later. But I don't want to keep this Asian style. I want this more like modern, but with wood and kind of eco style, let's call it. And here for the exhibits, they turn out quite ugly, but the idea was to have like some water animals, so we get the axolotl, and I think I also get the diamondback terrapin here, but I later exchange it for another animal, for the one we got in the Europe pack, for the newt. Exactly, so I later exchanged it for the newt, and I think the idea here is that we have this little pond in the background, and fitting to that, you are looking to the animals where they would sit in the pond. So I kind of like doing this to have it like the animals which would live there right next to it. And I mean, the peafowl is just a nice and chill entry animal. And then what's been super difficult is building something nice with the limited building pieces, which is, for example, why we don't have a roof yet. I will later build a roof only to replace it once I have the right pieces. So I will try to avoid that, and I hope with some mechanical research we get a bit ahead here, because I really, really like using that. So here I'm building this exhibit, and I guarantee you that it will not stay like this forever, because I don't like it that much. I at first liked it, and then when I looked at it again now, I didn't like it anymore, so I think it has to go. I even tried like to sink it in, to not make it like this big box, but I didn't like how that turned out either. So yeah, I still don't know exactly what to do with it. But it's always good, like in those challenge mode, franchise mode, the exhibits somehow attract the people more than they attract me, to be honest. They come to look inside and have immediately the feeling like they have more animals, even with like less upkeep, less costs, and also like a bit less effort. So this is something which I do find quite nice, to just enter them and to increase like the guest happiness with that. And then I wanted to build a little bit like something that they can stand under to look inside. But yeah, I think that's almost it for today's build. We will jump to the cinematics in a second. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I know today's episode was not any crazy great building, but I hope I will be able to follow up with that in the future. Like, still maybe not crazy great, but better than what we have here with the limited pieces. And I hope to see you again soon, and I wish you a lovely day. And if you haven't gotten your hands on the DLC yet, I think there's a sale right now happening on Steam, so this is the right time for it. And I wish you all a very, very lovely day. Hope to see you soon. Bye!